Hi, good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful Thursday morning at the very end of May, and I am Jody Janikopoulos from Addison Public Library here with Marti LaHood, who is our treasured chair yoga instructor for so long now. Marti, we've been knowing each other for quite a while now.
Amen. Amen. For God, if we really added up, a couple years.
I know. Hoping very soon, actually, to be seeing you in person and be hosting everybody back either outdoor or social distant in the library. But until that time, we're going to be still coming to you every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. And you can always go back and watch recordings on the Addison Public Library YouTube channel. It's a great resource, and you can really, even like get to know the routines and find your favorites, all of those good things. But without further ado, I do welcome Marti, and I will see you all very soon.
Thanks, Jody. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday, or whatever day you're practicing. Always good to feel people participating energetically. I can't wait for the day that I get to see your faces and that we all feel safe being together. So until then, let's enjoy the purpose of our practice at home. I think for most of us, it's been an adjustment, but it also can be something we're really grateful for, being able to do our practice in our own space. The change can be good, it can be different. And again, it's going to bring a new light to appreciating being with you guys in person. So you're at home, make sure your space is comfortable. So just like I say every time, my couch for me, I really melt into this couch. So for me, I need to get something that gives me a little bit more height for my seat. So I just steal a big cushion off of my other couch, and that really makes a difference. Now, if you're on like a hard chair in your kitchen or a desk, it's never a bad idea to give yourself a little bit more cushion. Grab a pillow, even just a blanket will make a difference on how it feels in your seat. So very important to build your area comfortable so that you can think about the other things, your movement and how your body feels. Okay. All right. So always a good thing too is shoes on, shoes off. If you have orthopedic issues, you have orthopedic shoes, I suggest leaving your feet on. Leave your feet on. Leave your shoes on. But if you feel more comfortable being barefoot too, there are perks and benefits to helping you feel grounded through your feet. Okay. All right. So take a moment to take any wiggles out, anything that you feel like you need to do to relax. Now you can lean back into your seat. You can just sit up tall. Just make sure that spine is long so that we're just creating space through each of those vertebrae. No need to feel stiff or rigid. Let those eyelids close. And just bring yourself into that concentration of everything inward. Especially now with everything that's gone on this last year, we really focus on the people around us. We share our love with others. We check in with people, see how they're doing. I want you to do the same love and intention for yourself. Check in with yourself. See how you're doing. Ask how you're doing. Even just recognizing the space we're taking up and that energy we take up. Now our thoughts are so powerful, they create our emotions. And those emotions have the ability to change our day, to change the way our body feels, our pain receptors feel, even just the way we breathe. So just like it would be watching TV, changing the channel, we have the ability to change a channel. It's not easy. It's something we need to work on. But we can work on it just like we work on our abs or we work on any muscle group. Take a minute. Think happy, fun thoughts. Put a smile on your face. Feel relaxed, feel calm. Just notice how that emits this feeling through the rest of our bodies. Our thoughts are so powerful. If you'd like to set an intention today for your practice, this is the perfect time. It could be for yourself, it could be for someone else, it could be a prayer. And bring both hands to that low belly right beneath your belly button. We're going to take this nice big breath in, feel that low belly press out. And as we exhale, pull that low belly back towards our spine. Good. Every breath, fill that space. And breathe as you pull it in. Good. Keep on going. Big breaths. The more movement you get in that low belly, the better. The more you're going to stretch those muscles, you're going to move those organs around. You're going to get that blood flowing, building that heat. This is so good for our core. It's also, for me, anytime I feel stressed or almost like full of anxiety, this breathing for me just immediately relaxes me. Okay, maybe not immediately. Probably 10 breaths I need here. So if there's anything that you do consistently to better yourself and your practice, this is a great way to start. Maybe set yourself an intention to do this once a day, then twice a day, then 3 times a day. You'll start to feel this shift for yourself. Again, it's just this little gift you give yourself for 1 minute. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Last one. Good. Bring those hands up now to the lowest rib. You can lean back in your seat if it feels comfortable. Again, just make sure that spine is tall. It doesn't need to be rigid. It just needs to be tall. Okay. And let's feel those ribs expand outwards. Big breath in. And exhale. Good. As you exhale, just let those ribs draw back in towards each other. Nothing too strenuous here. Breathe in, fill that space. Please make me yawn. Oh, excuse me. I hope some of you guys just yawned because of that. Good. As you breathe here, you can feel that tension in the sides of your ribs, through your back. It's just, it starts to show you how much tension you hold here. You don't even know it. It doesn't take much to stretch them out. So a few big breaths where you feel that space expand. It's going to be so good for that. Good, and go ahead and release your hands. Take one more moment just to check in. We'll take one deep breath together. Big exhale. Full breath in. Open mouth, let it out. Good. Go ahead and open your eyes. We'll take a nice big breath in. Reach those arms all the way out and up, almost like a big stretch. Take this first one as a big stretch. Oh, good. Hands together through center. Breathe out. Two more. Let it flow this time. Big breath. Reach, extend, and exhale. Good. One more, just like that. And out. Perfect. We're going to bring our feet a little wider than hip distance. Adjust yourself on your seat so you feel comfortable and you don't feel like you're going to fall off. Hopefully your heels are underneath your knees. I know sometimes depending on the height of our chair, we have to, and the length of our legs, we have to adjust. But okay, we're going to bring that right elbow towards our right thigh. All right, bring that left hand on our left hip. And we're going to stay, well, we're not going to keep the hand on the hip, but we're going to take that elbow and try to make big circles with it. Almost like we're trying to elbow somebody behind us. Good. You're going to feel this in some weird places. You'll probably feel this in that very long muscle that goes along the length of our side and our back. You're going to feel it in your arm too, rotator cuff, and your whole shoulder girdle. Okay, so just again, listen to your body. If there's part here that does not feel good, don't do it. You're really tiring out your arm too. Last one. Good, and then slowly come to both, almost like we're going to have that conversation. And then we'll switch. Right hand comes to that right hip. Try to pull that shoulder up. And then again, take that elbow, big circles. Now your gaze can follow it, so you can constantly move like that, but it doesn't need to. For me, it feels much better in my neck just to keep my gaze forward. My neck can be a little fussy. So listen to that. Those are important little cues for you to pay attention to. Good. Last one. Really tires out your arm. I know, you're not alone. Good. We're using just different muscles here. So we're using almost like our triceps, like the back of our arms, but it's really like this little muscle to the side of it. So a great muscle to stretch or to strengthen here. Good. We'll just take a moment to be here. And then when we're ready, come all the way up. We're going to roll out those shoulders. So we're going to roll out those shoulders together to start. And then down and back. Okay. Two more, just like down and back. Good. Wow. If you don't feel that tension here, you're lucky. Because I feel like most of us hold so much tension right here, and we feel it when we do that. So now we're going to do one shoulder at a time. Yeah. And you can let those movements get big too. Like we're not just trying to isolate it in one spot. You can kind of move into it. Good. If you're ever trying to if you think you're going to go out dancing, this is a great exercise to do. Gets you a little loose for it. Yeah. And release. Okay. What a difference that makes. We'll reset. Big breath in, reach those arms up. Don't worry, we're going to give our arms a break after these three. Exhale. Two more, just like that. Breathe in. Reach up. Down. Good. Last one. If you don't know yet, these always make me yawn. They actually feels really good. It's not because I'm bored. All right, great. We'll give our arms a little bit of a break. I know I'm feeling it, so I'm sure you guys are too. Again, always able to adjust yourself in your seat so that you feel comfortable. We're going to take that right foot. We're going to reach out in front of us. Heel comes down. Okay, so I know you can't see my toes. So I kind of lift them up so you can see. Now, when you do that, you're going to notice that you'll start to lean back and your spine's going to round. So I want you to really concentrate on using that core here to pull yourself up. Okay, good. Pull that low belly in. Toes point up, heel is down, toes even flex back a little bit. Perfect. Little bit of a bend in that knee, okay, just because I don't want you to hyperextend it, so just a little bit. Hands come to that left thigh, and then tall spine. We're not going like this. We're going like this, pulling that low belly in to press into your thighs. So I just want you to feel this little pull in the back of that right thigh right now. Just like that. Good. So stretching out those hamstrings. So important to stretch out. They have a lot to do with a lot of things, with our low back, tension in our low back. When they're tight, it makes it really hard for us to get up off the floor. Put pants on, take pants off, pick something up off the floor. So you can see that these never get stretched out, and they could be the culprit of a lot of limiting things for us. Okay, and actually men tend to have much more, they tend to have hamstrings that are much tighter. So it's probably a reason that most men can't do the split. I mean, not that a ton of women can either, but I never could. But just more women can do splits. Good. Keep those toes flexing back. All right, we're going to add to this here. So we're going to take that right hand, keep that spine tall. So remember, we're not doing this to round. Okay, so see, imagine that we're sitting right in front of each other like this, and I want to be able to read what's on your shirt. So we're going to take that hand, keep those toes flexed, and we're going to start to come down. Doesn't have to be a lot. If you're really flexible, you might be touching your toes here. But again, I want to read your shirt, so don't go like this. Okay? I want you to go like this. I want to read the little logo right there. You're just going to feel, you should be feeling it a lot more in your hamstring. And if you have it in you and this feels good, maybe go a little bit further in. But again, try to keep that chest a little lifted. I know it becomes hard. And again, know your limitations. This is not supposed to be painful. And if you're really tight in these hamstrings, you might not be able to get very far down. That's okay. All right, we'll come all the way up. Bring that foot in, wiggle it out. All right, we're going to stay working on that leg. So we're going to turn to the left. Then we're going to take that right foot and we're going to step it off to the side. Okay, so we'll adjust a little bit. I like to make sure that this heel is underneath my knee. Depends on your chair too. So this is a pose that having a good cushion underneath you is going to make the difference of how it feels cutting into your thigh. All right, so that long leg off to the side, options. You can have the toes up. You can have the toes down. Ooh, I just got a Charlie horse. You can roll the edge of your feet down. Don't get a Charlie horse. All right, so now that stretch is coming from not our hamstrings as much, but our inner thigh muscles. So important group to be stretching out. These are really some of the bigger muscles of our body, but they're not just in our legs. They go all the way up and attach to the tops of our hips. So like our hamstrings, when our low back is really tight, sometimes these are the reasons, because they're pulling on that low back. Same thing with our inner thighs and even the front of our thighs. They can pull on that pelvis and they can tilt our pelvis forward, making a tall posture really hard for us. So if you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel this so much, it is pretty much your body saying, stretch this. You will feel better. Nobody wants to hear that our least favorite and our toughest poses are the ones that we should be doing the most. Those are the ones that our body is saying, please do this more. I know, I hate it too. All right, so from here, nice and tall. Remember, I want to see what's written on your shirt here. Okay, I want you to walk those hands down. So don't collapse. I want you to be open and walk that hand down just a little bit. You're going to feel that extra pull in that inner thigh. Okay, I like to have that left hand on like my left hip so that it keeps me open too, because then I'll start to feel it in that hip. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. It's so amazing that we have a tendency to hold our breath when we're stressed, when we're upset, when we're scared. And yet our body needs us to breathe, like to get through it. Like it would be more of a benefit if we breathe through it. Even think of just about like moms that are having babies. It's all about that breath. It's all about dealing, holding that breath that's going to make the pain worse, and it's going to make your whole body feel worse. So breathing is so important, not only in childbirth, but in life, to some extent. Not that I'm comparing life to childbirth, but you know what I mean. One more breath here. I know some of you guys are probably saying like, oh, that did not help. I get it. I've been there. All right, so wiggle out those legs. What a difference one leg is to the other now. Make sure you do the other side, because otherwise you're going to be lopsided. So let's take that left foot, bring it forward. Again, toes point up, point back. Little bend in that knee. Okay, sit up tall. And then hands to that right thigh. And then we'll lean forward into it. Okay, feel that good stretch here. Breathe. All right, if you feel like you have a little space, let's take that left hand and let's walk it down just a little bit. Again, no claps. I want to see that shirt. Lift that chest. And breathe. Just a few more breaths. Maybe you reach down a little bit further if you've got it. Got last breath here. And release. All right, we'll switch now and just move to the right. And then we'll take that left leg and stick it out. Even out those sides. Adjust as you need. Don't get that Charlie horse. You can, again, play with that foot placement. Try out a couple different ways. You're gonna feel it differently. So like for me, if I point my toes up towards the ceiling, I don't really feel it in here. But if I roll that foot down to the side and put it all flat, it fires up that muscle in here. So it's all about, we're all different too. So what part of our muscles are tense are going to change from person to person. All right, sit up nice and tall. Right hand goes onto that right hip. And then we'll just walk down a little bit. Okay, side might not need as much. Don't forget to breathe. Maybe a little bit more if you've got it. And then just 2 breaths here. Good. Come all the way up. Oh, now those legs feel even. Wiggle them out. All right, we'll give those legs a break. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Big breath in. Reach all the way up. Big breath. And out. Keep it going. 2 more, just like that. And out. Full big breath. Reach, extend, lengthen. And out. Good. All right. Perfect. So sit up tall. Bring those feet up. Probably a little wider than hip distance. I think that helps here. We're going to bring those arms out nice and wide. Palms face me. And then give yourself a big hug. Good. And then here, if it feels good, again, listen to your body. You can kind of wiggle it around. You can kind of round your back a little bit, but it has to feel good. Don't do it if you feel any painful crunching. All right, sit up all nice and tall with it. And we're just going to do 1 each side. So nice, slow turn. Keep those feet nice and strong. Don't let those feet move. Turn to the right. Feel those abs really engage here. Come back nice and slow. And then turn to the left. Don't let your feet and your knees go like this, though. Use that core. And back. Remember what arm's on top. And then just switch it. Stretch it out first. Okay. Wiggle it in. Anything that feels good here. Good. Sit up nice and tall. And then this time we'll turn to the left first. Or whichever way. Nice and slow. Keep those feet strong. Use that core. Don't forget to breathe. Back through center. To the right. And back through center. Good. Open it out nice and wide. Big stretch out. And then release. All right. Perfect. All right. From here, we're going to move our spine a little bit. Hands to our knees. Again, feet are nice hip distance apart. We'll pull that belly button forward. Shoulders roll back. Maybe our gaze goes up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, round. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Couple more. Perfect. For me, I always feel like one side of my spine feels more tense than the other. So completely normal. I wouldn't say that it's extensive, but I definitely can notice it. And it's not the side I'm a lefty, and it's my right side. So never makes sense. I think my right side is just more tense than my left. Maybe all together. Interesting. but completely common. So don't let it alarm you. I think I get that question a lot. Oh, always makes me yawn. That feels so good though. Maybe my yawns are like little stretches for my breath. Like I could probably do a whole class by myself and I'll probably yawn 50 times. Kind of crazy, huh? Awesome, and release. Good. Relax those arms, that whole entire body. We're gonna give our arms a little stretch. We're gonna take that left palm, let it face up. We're gonna straighten that arm long in front of us. Now we can leave it on our leg if it feels good. It's an option because sometimes our arms are heavy, or we can lift it up a little bit and try and pull those fingers back. And then we can relax it onto our leg again. So I want you to feel this stretch through this whole front part of your forearm into your wrist. Okay, so the more you grab those fingers, because we know that all of those muscles that control our fingers are here. Okay, so we're really stretching out those fingers, and they go through our wrist. So all this can be really tense. It can be inflamed, carpal tunnel. So be gentle if it hurts, but this can be a really good stretch for our wrist. Good. Perfect. And release. Okay. We're just going to wiggle that wrist out a couple ways each way. I feel like I'm doing a magic trick. Good. And release. Take a moment. Just notice how different your hands feel. For me, I feel a difference in my hands. Weird. This side feels lighter to me. So we'll do the same thing with our other hand because, again, we don't want to be off balance. We're going to, same thing. Hand comes forward, palms up, and then we're going to grab it and just kind of relax it on our thigh. Yeah, see, this is my right side. This is definitely tighter than my other side. I guess that's okay. Perfect. A couple more seconds. And release. Okay, same thing. Wiggle it out. Tricks. All right. Take a moment. We'll go into those rotator cuffs into our shoulders. So we bring those elbows into our sides, kind of pin them here, and then just take circles. Circles can be little, circles can be bigger. The bigger the circle is, the more you're stretching out those muscles, the more muscles you're hitting in this muscle group of your rotator cuff. But if we're dealing with some rotator cuff issues, maybe some tension, it's probably might be better off to start small and then slowly open up here. Got to reverse those circles. Let's see how we're doing on time. Good. And release. Perfect. Palms come together. Elbows stay into our sides. Palms come together. Open up. Sit up nice and tall. As wide as you can get them. And then back in. Nice and slow. So not like a fast clap. It's more like we're that monkey with the tambourine that nice and slowly opens up and then comes in. Okay. I don't know why I always think of the monkey with the tambourine here. I'm sure there's something else I could imagine. That'd be a fun Halloween costume, though. Okay. All right, this time we open up nice and wide. Okay. And then we're going to reach those arms out wide and up. So we're almost trying to pull that chest more forward than our arms. And then we pull it down, like make a W. And then try to almost squeeze those elbows behind us. Like we're going to try to get them to squeeze together. Good. Reach up. One more time. Good. Some release. Such a different, when we get those arms out wide like that, we engage a bunch more muscles for our back, for our arms, for our shoulders than we do just when we're like this. Like even notice that, like how easy that is. It's actually much different than this too. So many different muscle groups there. So, being mindful to make sure you're sharing the strength, love to all those arm muscles. All right, we'll take a moment. Hands come to our thighs again. We're going to move that spine one more time. So breathe in, pull that belly forward, and then exhale, round. 2 more. Just to reset. Good, and release. Perfect. So I always talk about shoulder girdles a lot. And for most of us, I don't think we really have any idea of what they are. It is literally like kind of like our shoulder blade and that whole part of it, because you have to remember it's all kind of floating. It's attached to our rib cage with like ligaments and tendons and muscles, but it's all kind of floating. So if you, I spent many years as a waitress, so I always carried everything on one side. Well, I would constantly be pressing that whole shoulder girdle down, which I ended up being a little like crooked. But it caused a lot of discomfort and pain too. But it's the same thing if we're carrying our purse always on the side and we have too much change in it. For always holding a baby on one side, it can really make the difference. Because imagine when you hold like a child on your hip, you lean into it. Well, you do a lot of injustice to your spine when you do it. Obviously, we're still going to do it. It's just a matter of getting that part to kind of snap back. So important to move that, to stretch it, because we definitely have a side that's going to be that gets more use and more abuse. So, when I say that shoulder girdle, that's what I'm meaning. I'm meaning that whole part that we tend to drag down with a bag on our shoulder or always carrying something. We're going to have one side that's better than the other. So beneficial to give those shoulder girdles some love. Okay. All right, we'll reset. Just a big breath in, reach all the way up. And out. 2 more, just like that. Big breath. Last one. Perfect. All right, from here, we're going to grab those feet a little bit wider. Actually, probably as wide as we can get them. Hands come to our elbows. Now, for a lot of us, we'll stay here. This, we're probably already feeling in that low back. So that low back and that pelvis, because it is forcing that low back to lengthen. And everything to kind of bend in a direction that it doesn't. So you have to remember that low back is so used to having that S curve. And all of that weight gets put on that low part of our back. And again, when things are tense or stressed out, or if we're, maybe got a little more weight in our upper body than our doctors are telling us we should, that really stresses out that low back part of our back. So this, again, as long as it feels good, is a good way to slowly just help decompress that. You lengthen that, okay? So for a lot of us, this might be as far as we're ready to go. Again, you know your limitations. Overdoing it is never going to be beneficial. Okay, this feels good or maybe feels too easy. You can even bring your hands to the floor. Okay, you can even relax your head. Okay, just listen to your body here. You really feel it. A lot of us are going to feel it when we relax our head. That's kind of the far extent. This pose is happy baby pose. So you've seen people do it when they're on their back, their feet are up in the air, and then they grab for their feet like a little baby would. So good for our bodies, so good for our back, our hips. So many benefits. It's really good when we can get our head below our heart. So we get fresh blood flow to our brain. They're showing a lot of benefits to just keeping our brain healthy and free of disease. For getting that healthy blood flow here. So, okay, but only downfall is it can make us a little dizzy. So we're going to come up nice and slow. Just come to our elbows. Take a moment to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just a few deep breaths. We take as much time as we need here. One more breath. Again, take as much time as you need here. If you feel ready to move, go ahead and sit all the way up, nice and tall. And then sweep those arms up, big breath in. Keep the eyes closed if you feel dizzy. For me, that always helps. Just don't fall. Last one. Big breath. Good. Awesome. So sit up tall. Again, take as much time if you need it. We're going to bring that right hand toward our right side. Okay, just kind of throw it there. Left arm reaches up, and we're going to try to arch through our left side. Okay, so you're going to feel it all through the length of the left side. Try not to be like this. See, I want to still read what's on your shirt. Breathe. Now, if you don't have this, and you have like an armrest, you can just do it the same thing with an armrest. If you don't have an armrest and you're just in a chair, you can grab the base of the chair and go like this. Okay, so just wherever you're at, big breath in. And then release. Good. We'll switch. Left arm down. Sweep that right arm up and to the left. Always such a good stretch to feel through those ribs, that shoulder. One more breath. And release. All right, we'll give that upper body a break again. We'll give our legs some love. We don't have a ton of more time. So we're gonna come into that figure4. So we're gonna bring that left ankle on top of our right knee. Now keep in mind that that right leg can be straighter, not completely straight. And then we can slowly build by pulling that foot back in. Okay. Now this can be a very intense stretch for most of us. So don't overdo it. This is my good side. My left side is always so much more stretched. I'll show you my right side. It's pretty bad. Okay, so just be gentle. Don't overdo it. If this is easy for you, awesome. For some people, it just is a muscle that's not that tense. If it's tense for you, then be gentle going into it. This is really good for that sciatic nerve. That whole muscle that nerve runs through is what it's stretching. And when that muscle is really tense, it agitates that nerve. It goes right through that muscle. So great muscle to be stretching. God, if it's easy, you can even lean into it. Just 2 more breaths here. Got it, and then release. Shake it out. And then we'll switch. Try this side. Again, you can keep that left leg straighter. And then slowly bring it in. The sides, so tough. But you will notice how quickly you can get this stretched out. I mean, if I stayed here for 5 minutes, I'd probably get it to look similar to my other side. I'm not going to, though. I probably should. Lean into it. Feels good. Two more breaths. And then release. Wiggle it out. All right, so we're gonna bring those feet together. Sit up nice and tall, and then we're just gonna open up wide, and then bring them in, squeeze them. That's it. Okay, so good. I know it's probably weird the way we're sitting, so don't fall off your seat. This is good for the mobility of our hip. If you've ever had a major hip replacement, like a major one, where they take those muscles off the sides of your hip, you've probably been told no auto rotation with those legs, so maybe don't do these. Okay, but for the rest of us, such a great way to keep the mobility of our hip going. And even just to strengthen those muscles out there. We'll feel them all kind of engage, be used here. 2 more. And then wiggle it out. All right, so here we're going to, hopefully you can see my feet a little bit. I might move you down a little bit so you see them. Let me see my notes. Oh, I guess my table's in the way. All right, so heels go right underneath our knees. And then from here, we're gonna, once they're like that, then we're gonna scooch them back, our heels even back further. Okay, so see how I did there? I went like that. So that our heels kind of pop up off of our floor just a tad bit, okay? And then from here, we're gonna tippy toes and then heels down. Gives me a Charlie horse. Tippy toes, give them a squeeze, and then heels down. Press the heels down, and you can even press the heels down so much that it lifts you up, okay? Feel all those muscles engage when you do that. Heels up, but it also is lengthening that calf. And then press the heels down, press the heels down. Good. One more time. Heels up, press the heels down, press the heels down. All right, relax. All right, bring those feet forward, stretch them out, wiggle those toes. I want you to roll both of those ankles. Okay, it's See them like that. Sit up tall. Roll those ankles the other way. Wiggle those toes. If you have your feet off, why do I keep on saying that? If you have your shoes off, I want you to spread your toes. Like spread them as much as you can. Okay? Both sets at the same time. And then I want you to crunch your toes. Good. Do it again. Spread them. And then crunch them. One more time. Spread them. And then crunch. All right, perfect. Bring those legs back in. Sit up tall. Find somewhere comfortable in your seat. We are going to prepare for our shavasana. Yep, it is that time. So the beauty of being in our own space at home is that we can come to somewhere different than our seat. So if you'd like to lay down on your couch, you want to lean back, get kind of comfy. The only thing I ask, the most important thing, is to make sure that spine is just long. So this is not where I want you to relax at. I want you to relax somewhere where that spine is tall. Okay. All right, get there. Then take any wiggles you need to take. Take your time getting there. I see like this. Oh, it's over here. Oh, maybe it's just I see something in my TV screen. Anyways, get super comfortable. Take a moment when you get there to move, to check in. Let your eyelids get heavy. Let the skin on your forehead get soft. Let your jaw relax. Maybe your lips split open. And let your tongue drop away from the roof of your mouth. Just bring yourself back inward, checking in again with yourself, with your thoughts, with your intention. Taking a moment to focus in on something good. We can think about everything else later. But right now, just force yourself to bring that attention to something positive. And you might have to continually bring yourself back. That's okay. We need to rewire our brain to think of the positive first. And every time we think of something positive, we are constantly rewiring our brain. It is an exercise for our brain. It is the single most beneficial thing we could do for our mental health, for our happiness. Let those breaths stay long and fluid. Check in how those breaths are moving through your body. Are they shallow? Or are you fully moving your belly while you breathe? As we start to prepare for the rest of our day, the rest of our week, set an intention for the way you interact with others and the way you interact with yourself. Let that be part of your positive thinking, your new mantra for the week, your help in just rewiring your brain. And if you are already always thinking happy thoughts, bless your heart. Maybe your thoughts go to a more giving and loving space. Maybe see how you can give that back to others. If you're laying down, you can stay exactly where you're at. You can enjoy this space for as long as you want. Wherever you're at, just bring your hands together in front of your heart. Feel those thumb knuckles press in to your collarbone. Feel that collarbone lift into your thumb knuckles. Thank you for sharing your energy, your purpose, your intentions with myself and the rest of the world. We always end our practice with namaste, and that just means the light in me honors that very light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Always such a pleasure to start my Thursdays off with you guys and Jody. Can't wait to see you all in person, but until then, we'll just keep on rocking it. Jody?
Thank you. And yes, I so look forward to hosting this in person on a Thursday morning at Addison Public Library. It'll be summertime, I think. We'll be able to swing it. Our parking lot is under construction right now anyway, so you do not want to be doing that, but it's going to be really nice. It's already, what's finished is really nice, so just we need to hang tight and we're going to make it. But we'll be open full-time schedule, regular hours, starting in June. So things are changing, and that's in a good way. Yay. All right, everybody. See you soon. Take care. Have a great Memorial Day weekend.